Hi, fellow watchers. We're watching whatever. I'm Nathan.
I'm Danny.
We are back here today with Glory, episode 9. We're finally on to the second part of the show. So, Danny is new to the Glory, and I am not. And I told Danny before that I actually like the second half, episodes 9 through 16. I thought that the first part of the Glory, it was more of like a slow build up to everything, and this is kind of where everything starts to go into motion. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see what Danny thinks about it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Anything you want to add?
No, just been looking forward to it. I've been enjoying the show. Right now, I think my interest in is just to see how everything is resolved, and so yeah, I mean, you kind of prepared me for a lot more to kind of happen in this half of the show. So really looking forward to it.
So we're gonna start here. Before we do, for everyone watching on YouTube, we thank you for joining us. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Anyone who's watching with us on Patreon, thank you for your support. And we're gonna start the show here. All right, Dodger's gonna be joining us, sir.
I'm gonna get to see what happened to this fool, huh?
I think so. Go for a little time jump again.
Right.
October 17th.
약발 틀어지니까 별게 다 기억 안 나네, 씨. 뭐더라? 왜?
어디냐? 좀 보자. 집으로 올래?
왜?
할 얘기도 있고. 하긴 넌 모르겠다, 너 걔 같은 모습. 너 그날 거기 왔었지? 윤소희 죽던 날.
I don't remember this scene at all.
신고를 왜 해?
Oh, he's raiding this fool's house right now. The Rishike's house.
Hey, remember in the
Right.
earlier episode, he walked in, his
Yeah.
closet's just empty.
이거 뭐냐? 보낸 거? 입 싸물어 줄 테니까 코인으로 퉁치자.
Dude, how many jackets is he putting on?
윤소희 뒤진 날 말이다. 너 연진이랑 있었다고 알리바이 되졌더라? 아, 조재준. 존나 푸딩 같은 새끼였어.
He's just wearing all of his clothes out.
그러니까 우리 떠나자, 한국.
존나 이쁘다.
그래, 씨발 너 존나 이쁘다고.
He's got all his watches on too.
너 지금 한국에 있잖아.
Clear.
러시아를 왜 가는데?
내가 퍼스트 클래스 태워준다고, 씨발년아. 나 너 좋아했다고.
개소리.
야, 전화 다 돌렸는데. 와, 이것들이 다 아주 눈도 깜짝 안 하는데?
혹시 네가 다 돌리는 전화에 나도 포함인 건가?
항소하고 싶으면 명찰 놔줘라.
So he's blackmailed
Yeah.
basically everybody. That crazy smile.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I don't remember any of that. So we ended off on this
Yeah.
on episode 8.
어떻게 내 남편을 여기서 볼까? 문동은이 오빠한테도 접근했어? 했어도 그렇지 어떻게 여길 와?
누가 봐도 여기 주인공 박연진.
Is he gonna team up with her? That was my prediction, right? Like, he's the only one who seems like he could like beat her.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
딱 한 번만 물을게.
So she's watching all this on camera.
Right.
문 선생이 뭘
George
잘못했길래
Box, yeah.
그랬어?
뭘 잘못해야 돼?
Dang.
괴롭혔다는 건 그년 얘기고 그냥 사이가 안 좋았던 거야. 여기서 오빠를 마주쳐서 실망한 건 나야.
Always turn it around to other people.
And she like bumps past him, man. This gangster. This was like, what? This is my wife?
Yeah, he's like, what the hell did I marry? I think if I was this guy, though, the thing I'd be worried about is,
The kid, right?
my
Yeah.
daughter, you know?
So you gotta help your wife win to protect your kid. and
But then you're getting little hints about
right,
that it's not your kid.
right. But then I don't know. Do you let the whole world know you were like, I don't know, essentially like a cuck? I guess
He took off his shoes, so I guess that's just showing that a little bit. Like
He's got
he at least
some
has that much of
respect.
respect that to do
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
윤소희 시체가 냉동실에 있단 말씀이세요?
예. 서류상으로는 안치실에 있는데 시체는 냉동실에 있습니다. 목적이라 작고하신 원장님께서 지시하신 사항이거든요.
What? So she did deliberately meet him. What? No, that doesn't make sense. It was a coincidence they were in the hospital beds next to each other, and then he started stalking her, right? Or following her around.
It's a
'cause he's
definite-
oh.
Definite coincidence that they're in the hospital together.
But there's some
his
connection.
His father was the one who said to keep Sohee's body, keep her body frozen and preserved. Man, that's a nice place. I wonder how much something like that costs.
Millions. Tens of millions? Millions.
I would probably think tens. I mean, a regular apartment is would cost millions.
That's true.
A photo with dad and mom, and then a photo with just mom.
경찰 연락 왔는데 참고인 조사 받으러 오래. 어떡해?
뭘 어떻게 참고인 조사인데? 왜? 네가 손명호 죽였어?
네 생각엔 살인이 전화, 마약이 전화? 그치?
살아야 끊자. 개짜증 나너 지금. 아니 제가 바빠서 경찰서 갈 시간이 없어서요.
손명호 씨한테 마약 관련 정황이 나와서요. 혹시 실종 앞뒤로 누굴 만났다거나 기억나는 거 있으실까요?
재평건설 사장 하도영이요.
What a dick.
입을 찢어버려야 하나. 문 따라고 돈 준 손모가지를 부러뜨려야 하나.
She works at the store. She has to work as her little assistant / gopher. She's also been burned.
Damn.
나한테 오는 게 쉽지가 않지?
내 뒷조사했네.
쌍년이.
I liked earlier her little look to the side to see if anyone's around before
Yeah.
she curses her out.
넌 내 얘기를 안 듣는구나. 나 바빴다니까? 올려.
Video of her breaking in.
Right.
빠져나갈 방법 100만 가지니까.
그럼 이것도 빠져나가지나?
진짜 죽여버린다.
정신 차려. 죽여도 내가 죽여야 맞지. 이 나쁜 년아.
Hey, fellow watchers, don't forget to like and subscribe and check us out on our Patreon. Links are in the description below. And now back to our program.
내가 오늘 여기 온 이유는 너한테 마지막 기회를 주고 싶어서야. 그 기회는 현관에 놓여있던 누군가의 예의 때문이고. 그러니까 자수하는 걸로 나와 또 다른 피해자들에게 용서를 구해. 그럼 내 복수는 여기서 멈출 테니까.
난 잘못한 게 없어, 동훈아. 네 인생이 나 때문에 지옥이라고? 네 인생은 이미 태어날 때부터 지옥이었잖아. 넌 외려 나한테 감사해야 돼. 내 덕에 선생도 되고 이악 물고 팔자 바꿀 동기 만들어준 게 죄야?
Because of how I tormented you, your life turned better.
Crazy.
Right at that point, I would have turned it around. So then should I do the same to your daughter?
Right.
내가 네 년을 상대할 고데기를 다시 찾을 거니까.
꺼져.
일면 고맙네. 일말의 죄책감까지 싹 없애줘서. 그리고 넌 방금 네 남편이 준 마지막 기회도 날렸어.
So she is willing to let some of it go because of the respect her husband showed.
Right. She's
But
gonna
she
give her a
just
chance
threw
to
all
turn
those-
herself
Yeah, turn herself in, escape her punishment.
실은 제가 송현호 애가 있거든요.
그리고 실은 그날 손명호란 분이 대표님께 전화란 얘기가 더 있었거든요.
미선님, 언니네 대표님 와이프가 존나 떡치는 새끼 누군지 내가 아니까 그 새끼 이름 인터넷에서 보고 싶지 않으면 당장 전화하라고.
어이 놀래라. 진짜 처음에 박스만 뜯었거든요.
2층에다 조립할 생각은 안 한 거예요? 조립한 상태로 옮기기 힘들 텐데 뭐 그런 생각?
아 그럼 그냥 여기다 놓고
여긴 너무 민폐고요.
It's right next to his room.
웰컴 홈.
Do you think he purposely put it together so that she'd have to have it there?
Right. They could be like near each other.
누군가를 향한 증오가 담기지 않은
Was that always there? And he just didn't notice it?
I think so. I mean, I think now it's probably a. If that was me, I'd be like, so has she gone and every time she got one of these, has she gone and
Right.
slept with him there?
Right.
Because now there's a double meaning to it.
Right. I mean, he probably didn't realize they saw each other so often and
추운데 굳이 여기서 먹어요?
굳이 이런 거 하려고 마당에 있는 집 구한 거죠.
난방비 많이 나오겠다.
The different thoughts of the rich and poor.
다 오늘까지만요.
아 그럼 음악 틀까요?
아니요.
아 그럼 그냥 불러줄까요?
책.
감기인가?
봅시다.
이렇게 바로 확인 사살을. 나 받아줘서 고마워요. 당황했죠? 황당하고.
당연했죠. 어명인데.
I was thinking about why they made this dude so like childish and cheesy throughout the show. I think it's because the situation with his dad and everything.
이게 다 네가 신고해서 이렇게 된 거야. 씨발. 운동은 그냥 완전 작정했어.
파폭은 너나 위험하지 우리 같은 일반인이 뭔 타격이 있어. 우리한테 그 전화를 다 한 거야?
우리 그때 다 억울하게 조사받았던 거. 여기 모르는 사람 없잖아. 이럴 때만 우리지.
사실 다들 얘기 안 해서 그렇지 윤소희는 네가 어떻게 한 거 아니야?
She's nuts.
니네 완전 돌았구나.
She's slowly getting everyone to turn on her.
전대호 아저씨. 예전에 제 명찰이요.
So they showed us a glimpse of what happened to Sohee then.
Right.
서브시스 회원권은 구하기 어려운 거 알지?
나도 이거 짤짤이에서 빼낸 거 아니다. 자살로 준결했어. 걱정 마.
이건 태워야겠다. 재수 없어.
그러니까 계속 같은 얘기신데 기상캐스터 박연지 씨가 손명호 씨의 실종에 관련이 있지만 뒷받침할 근거나 증거는 없다. 그 얘기신 거죠?
증거도 제가 찾나요?
제가 궁금한 건 손명호 씨 마약 관련 정황입니다.
All they care about, man, is drugs.
제가 아는 게 무고인지 아닌지 생각해 보려고요. 중대 범죄를 저지르면 안 되잖아요.
Defamation and drugs are more serious than possible murder.
I know.
지금이라도 나타나면요.
18년이야, 은진아. 명찰은 네 엄마가 이미 없앴고 남은 건 시체 하나인데 그 시체는 안치실에서 흐물흐물 다 문드러져서 내일 당장 재수사가 들어간다고 쳐도 자살로 종결된 사건.
So the
Yeah,
dad
I
was
see what
a
the
good
doctor
guy.
was saying. Yeah, they said it's in the mortuary, but
Right.
it's actually been in the freezer.
Right.
So they think it's rotting away, but it's
Right.
actually been preserved. Why would you ridicule and belittle the person who's helping you cover your crimes and can actually do things to bring to light your crimes?
Right. Well, I mean, she has like blackmail material on him too, right?
But what if
Right.
he decides to run away and then just throw her under the bus, you know?
Right.
She got...
괜히 가서 더 맞지 말자, 엄마.
Gonna agree to send her away to keep her safe.
At this point, I would. What if one day he gets a little too drunk and instead of eating her, ends up killing her?
햇볕도 밤만 되는 데서 컸는데 어쩜 이렇게 환하고 이쁘지? 미안해.
울지 마, 엄마. 엄마 잘못이 아니야. 엄마 매일매일 최선을 다하고 있어. 미국이 뭐가 멀어 걸어가는 것도 아닌데. 엄마도 빨리 와, 알았지?
넌 학교 가서 꼭 치어리더 돼가지고 미식축구부 주장이랑 사귀고 있어. Are you okay?
대체 무슨 영화를 본 거야?
Be a cheerleader, date the captain of the football team.
우리 선아 이제 새 이름 생기겠네요. 영어로. 그럼 됐어요.
왜 왔어? 전화도 없이 수상한데?
만약에 엄마 내가 메스를 망나니의 칼로 쓴다고 하면 엄만 반대할 거야? 내가 아빠랑은 다른 선택을 하면 말이야.
심심해서요. 그래서 지옥 갔어요, 아드님.
그 새끼 강간에 폭행에 살인까지 그런 새끼도 환자라고 끝까지 살렸는데 돕고 싶니? 그럼 들키지 마. 그게 너의 천국이면 엄만 반대 안 할 거야.
Man, this lady's gangster too, man. The moms in the show are scary, dude.
Seriously, man.
Every single mom in this show is scary.
But I can see where she gets that mentality from, you know,
man.
after seeing her husband murdered.
근데 이걸 네가 어떻게 구했어?
2011.
말씀하셨던 윤소희 부검소입니다. 우리 병원에서 부검했었거든요.
So who do you think got her pregnant?
It's gotta be what's his face? The rich dude.
Jae-jun?
Yeah.
안 믿으시겠지만 소희가 저 자꾸 재우는 것 같았어요.
Why do you think it's got to be him?
I don't know, man. So as soon as I said that, I started thinking all these crazy thoughts. But
네가 오늘 나 안 만나잖아? 그럼 내가 내일 너 방송국으로 간다.
11시쯤 어때?
She's wearing the green shoes.
but is it gonna be like a red herring?
Her first mistake. Dang, look at those gold bars in the cash. I just want one of those gold bars. She kept it.
Oh.
What a bitch of a mom. She kept it.
Oh, dude, my stomach just dropped, man. I was like watching a horror movie, dude.
Put the car into drive and just book it out of there.
내려요, 아줌마. 강현남 씨, 연기 그만하고 내리라고.
Man.
It's crazy.
So that was obviously the picture of that
Her
lady's husband.
Right.
And that's the picture that Song Hye-Gyo realized she's missing from all
Right.
those photos.
And Yeonjin took it because that's the one photo probably of someone she doesn't know. So it was her clue that there
Yeah.
must be someone else kind of involved or whatever, right?
Yeah, which is actually pretty smart of her.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like she's been like, like dodging like trouble for like her whole life. So she's probably pretty good at like, at, at doing that kind of stuff. That's crazy. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Um,
You've got the mom who kept what would be considered evidence against her own daughter.
Right.
Which to me that was just like when I had seen it for the first time, I couldn't think of why, I was like, what is her reasoning, unless she was using it as some type of leverage against her daughter.
Right, leverage against her own daughter. So I was thinking about that too. Like, why would you need that though? Maybe it's about inheritance or something. If she's like a crazy, greedy like lady or whatever, But I can't really, right now in my brain, I can't think of like why else she might have kept it. It has to be like, potential blackmail material. Yeah, it's probably over money.
Earlier Yeonjin or Yeonjin thinks it's gone, right? Her mother was saying like, "Oh, I'll have to burn this."
Right. It's bad luck or whatever. Yeah, but
Yeah,
we never
yeah.
actually saw her do it, and so in these shows, like if they don't actually show you, you can't assume it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Squid Game.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and they didn't have a scene where the mom and daughter are like burning it together or whatever, so you know it's
Yeah.
gone. But man, one thing I noticed about the show, and probably, we might have talked about it in other episodes, but man, the moms in this show are gangster, dude. We got Yeonjin's
Every
mom.
single one.
Yeah, dude, like just willing to do whatever for a daughter, and then now we know she's even capable of like betraying her daughter after everything, right? We got this lady who's doing all this stuff with the promise that her husband's gonna get killed, right? And now we have that like the deaf
doctor's mom.
lady. Oh, the doctor's mom. She's gangster. Yeah, man. Like it's just about how like crazy
We've also
women.
got Dongwon's mom, who's just crazy for money and would turn on her
Right.
own daughter for that. Then
Yeah.
you've also got even for that little bit we saw in, I think, what, episode 2 or 3, it's Hara's mom who walks in where they had basically had like a drug orgy. She's like, get everyone
Right.
out of here, put her on IV. Like,
Right.
they're all
Yeah.
just crazy.
And guess what? Like our main villainess is a mom, right? And yeah, and you can imagine
right.
then, yeah, seeing what all these moms are willing to do to protect their daughters and stuff, or what they're willing to do like for their kids. We can imagine Yeonjin's probably got like she probably got some things up her sleeve as well, right? Yeah.
Oh man.
It's the intensity is like really ramping up. It's really fun right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what I said. The
Yeah.
second part of the glory, it really, they took it up a level.
Right. I think they kind of revealed like enough to keep us from feeling like, dude, they're just holding way too much back. They brought back Myungho again, and they're hinting at all these different like things and revealing certain things, and then at the same time they're creating kind of new threads that are kind of getting us closer to like the final kind of showdown that I imagine between Yeonjin and Dongwon, right? Yeah, it's right. So like we've seen this whole time like what Dongwon is willing to do to get her revenge, and now we're seeing what like the other side is willing to do to like protect their own ass or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you know, we would think automatically that you know, the people with money have a huge advantage because they got like, you know, like connections with the police and everything, right? But you know, Tongwon's made some good allies, right? Like the doctor. I mean,
Well,
he's like freaking rich.
yeah, she's made two great allies, right? The doctor who's super rich,
Uh-huh.
and also Hyunjin's potential mother-in-law, who
Oh,
also seems
right.
to be someone of high importance, right?
Right. Yeah.
And
Which,
obviously we know she's rich,
right. Yeah.
and you know,
Uh-huh.
and I could see where, like you were saying, where usually, yeah, it is the people with money who have all the advantage,
Uh-huh.
but she's got money on her side, plus she's got 18 years of planning and setting up.
Right. It's true. Like if they weren't ready for this, man, they've just been like sleeping for 18 years and she's been just working, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking like she's also kind of like getting the husband too. He's probably shaky. Like I don't really know about his character. I can like I'm gonna assume he's crazy too, right? But what is he more crazy about? Is he gonna be crazy about like uh is he gonna feel like he also needs to get revenge for being like cucked by his wife and Chejun or whatever? Or does he feel like he has to like protect his reputation and stuff and like eliminate like you know like people who could kind of ruin his reputation. I don't know where he's gonna go, you know. It seems like he's like he would align with you know Dongwon more than his own wife, but that's crazy, right? Like yeah,
well,
he's the wild
I
card for me
wouldn't.
right now.
Yeah, so To-Young, I wouldn't say that it's crazy for him to align with
Uh-huh.
Dongwon, except for the fact that his kid is gonna be collateral damage.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so there I could see where he would, out of duty as a father,
Right.
be more on his wife's side just for the sake of his
Right.
child.
But let's say he finds out that that's not his kid. It's really not his kid. Then, I mean, you know, again, like some dudes, you know, once they start to raise
Yeah,
a kid, it doesn't matter whether they're like, you know, like biological father or not. They're gonna continue to
yeah.
raise them. That you don't turn off that like I love you as my child switch just from that information. But I've also heard some dudes like immediately like divorce, you're out. I don't want to see this kid ever again. I don't care what happens to this kid. It's heartless and everything. It's I don't know, man. Like I hope I never have to go through this situation or anyone I know has to go through this situation. But I'm sure we probably know people who might have gone through this situation. I feel like if you raise the kid
Yeah.
as your own, then it's your kid. You know, you have to be
That's funny.
responsible. Oh.
I actually wrote that down because I wanted to talk
Oh,
about that.
okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Could you now? It's a different situation where if you go into a relationship and she has a kid with another person, right?
Right.
You know that that's not your child,
Right. And
but
so you
in a
you willingly
situation,
accept them as your kid, right? Right.
yeah, you will as you willingly accept them as you being a parent,
Right.
and them being her kids, and you taking them under your wing,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because I don't want to say as your kid, because depending on, so let's say I got into a relationship with a woman and she already has a kid, but let's say the baby's dad is actually a good father, right? He's always
Uh-huh.
there for the baby, the child, or
Uh-huh.
the son or daughter isn't a deadbeat or anything like that.
Right.
I don't want to take away that idea that he's a father, right?
Right.
For me, it would be, I'm here to fill in a position here of a boyfriend, husband, or whatever, and helping raise his child, but I don't want to take away the fact that this child has a good father.
That's a good point.
Right?
Mhm.
So, in that sense, I would say, not that that child is my kid, but I'm helping to raise this child in
Uh-huh.
a loving way.
Okay.
But in a
Right.
situation where you marry someone, you have kids, you think this child is yours. For here, she's what, 8 years old?
Right.
Right? For 8 years, you raise this child as your own. You love this child, and then if you find out this kid is not yours. Like, what does that do? How do you respond to that? I would I would want to think that as a decent moral person, I would still love that child as my own because I've already invested that much time
Right.
treating that child as mine.
Right.
But there's a part of me where it's just like, well, no, this is, my wife betrayed me,
Right.
deceives me into raising someone else's kid as mine, using my money and my resources or whatever to do all this. And so it's really hard. I don't know. And like you said, I've seen those where some people are like, I don't care, this is my kid, right? This is my daughter or my son, and other people are like, oh, I'm out.
Right.
So
I think I think that's it's I think it's like a test of character. And I think like even though we can't really, like I couldn't blame someone who's like, dude, I'm so betrayed and I'm not gonna, like raise someone else's kid or whatever. I mean,
yeah, I couldn't blame them either.
yeah, but I mean that kind of shows something about your character, though. You know? I mean,
Yeah, it does, but at the same time, it could, that kind of betrayal is also soul crushing.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's so hard. Again, if that was me in that situation, I would hope that I would have enough of reasoning and logic to be like, look, I've treated this child as my own. I'm gonna continue to love this kid and raise this kid as mine. But there's a small part of me where it's like, you know what? She did this, even though the child is innocent. The person who got her pregnant needs to take responsibility, and I'm out.
I'm trying to think of what this guy might do. I'm thinking like for rich people, another factor is like your reputation, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he wants to get into a scandal where it turns out that his like perfect family is all crap or whatever. So I
That's
feel
true.
like, yeah, and I mean that could affect your obviously it's gonna affect your personal relationships, maybe even your business relationships, if people feel like, oh, this guy is like, he's a sucker or whatever, or I don't know. I'm sure people who who fiercely protect their reputation, like something like this, you probably rather just hide it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, if he's a good guy or not. I can't really tell. I mean, I think the whole thing with the shoes thing is supposed to clue us into him being like a good person or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you? I don't know. Like, whose side do you take in that situation? I'm sure he's pissed if he realized that, like, his wife's been like cheating on him with this dude, and had his kid or whatever. I'm sure he's gonna be pissed, but I don't know if he's really worried about like his reputation, then I can imagine that he might help Yeonjin win, and that'll be crazy. It'd be interesting. Because I
Yeah.
feel like if he sides with Dongwon, then it's too easy, right? It's too
Yeah,
easy.
you've got two, like, basically go masters going against nobodies.
Exactly, right?
Or
Yeah.
three, because of the
The
doctor.
doctor too, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So and then yeah, so I feel like right now at this point we're gonna feel like, dang, like he's gonna. We're supposed to feel like, oh, she's gonna get the husband to like to help or whatever. But I feel like that's they're trying to mislead us, and I think he's gonna side with his wife. Maybe even just like, dude, after I help you like bury all of this, we're done or whatever. But we got to make this like to protect like my reputation or whatever. Maybe even if he really loves the kid, like to protect the kid, we got to get rid of this girl or whatever. I think that's what's got to happen. I think so. I had like a thought and I lost it, but yeah, like yeah, I mean he's her go opponent, right? Um, it's got to be that. Cool.
All right, well, so episode 9 ends here. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe and like our channel and leave us a comment. For everyone on Patreon, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time on episode 10. Bye.
Thank you. Oh, dude, went on this tangent.